Hey, how's it going, everybody? Lex here again. And for this video, I thought I would show this comment thread that I was involved with on this particular video that I saw like a couple weeks ago or whatever. And just thought I'd go through some of my comments. It's another police video, but basically let's just watch this video and see what happens. And then we're going to go into the comments section and see the discussion I had about it with other people.
28th, 2021, officers attempted a traffic stop on a motorcycle without visible tags. The driver, after making eye contact, evaded the stop, leading police on a chase at speeds surpassing 100 miles per hour.
Okay, so police tried to pull over a motorcycle. There's a passenger on the motorcycle as well. The guy did not pull over. He took off at speeds of over 100 miles per hour. So he evaded the police, which is a felony. Okay.
He's found on Chestnut. It's a white motorcycle, 2 riders. It's a male.
Officers briefly lost sight of the suspect but alerted nearby colleagues, resulting in his capture.
Okay, so now they eventually find the guy, and let's see what they do now.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to just put it back on normal speed.
Get off! Get off! Get off! Hands behind your back.
Yes, sir. Turn around.
549, we got the
Hands behind your back.
Good thing you didn't kill yourself or anybody else.
It's a cute tag. You do it out of fun or just because you ride like an asshole? You're gonna kill somebody.
He's lucky he didn't kill himself. Anything else on you I'm missing?
How many weapons on you?
Go ahead, go through, go ahead.
Thank you, guys. It's your boy.
Hey, listen, I understand. No. Yeah.
It's my phone. My.
Okay, now, a big point of contention in the comment section for this video was people talking about, well, why did the cops have to handcuff the girl? Well, we're going to talk about that in the comments too. You're going to see some of the stuff I said and what other people said, right? But if you look at the top right-hand corner where the time on the body cam is, you see it's 21:57. I believe that's 9:57 at night. They only handcuffed this girl for 3.5 minutes, and then they took the handcuffs off. She was only handcuffed for 3.5 minutes. That's it, right? So these are the facts so far.
Credit card, no, my credit.
And now they're unhandcuffing her, and basically.
My debit card and my.
Ma'am. You're scared.
Yeah, they put her in the back of the police car, and they basically they figured out like, okay, this girl seems like she's not like she seems innocent. She seems like she's not involved in criminal activity or anything. So now they just have her in custody in the back of the police car, and while they figure everything out. Okay.
Okay. Safe right. I was right behind it. I came up.
And I mean, yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so now let's go into the comments section. This particular thread right here was where I had a lot of comments in. This was over 2 weeks ago. So let's just read these one by one, and let's just go ahead and look at it. So this person says, "I love how the cops tried to go after the passenger on the motorcycle to see if they could charge her too. When all you have is pressure to make citations and arrests, everyone looks like a criminal." So basically the implication here is, he's trying to say that police are these, ticket generating revenue agents for the government, and all they do is go around looking for crimes and trying to criminalize everything that people are doing. And okay, so let's see some of the responses people had. Here's my first response. I basically just put it simply, yeah, duh, she was involved in a criminal activity, right? Meaning she was a passenger on a motorcycle where the driver of the motorcycle was committing a felony, evading the police and driving over 100 miles per hour to avoid the police. He might have been driving faster than that, who knows? Which is also a pretty big crime. Driving that fast can definitely result in jail time, but she just happened to be with him, okay? So continuing reading my comment. "So they have to investigate the situation. What the heck else were the police supposed to do? Just instantly tell her she's free to walk away from a crime scene that she was involved with? My God, you road pirates people have no clue what you're talking about. And I said the word road pirates because there were other people in the comments section using that phrase. Then this person right here first responded and disagreed with me and said, she was there, yes, but that's where her involvement ends. No need to treat someone like a criminal for doing literally nothing wrong. And my response was, I put in quotes how they said, no need to treat someone like a criminal for doing nothing wrong. I agree, this girl did not do anything wrong. That's the facts, right? She didn't do anything wrong. The police figured that out later on. They did not treat her like a criminal. She was on a motorcycle with a dude who was committing criminal activity. They handcuffed her because the police have to control the situation initially. And then the police, guess what? Like I said earlier, after only 3.5 minutes had passed, they took off the handcuffs once they realized that this girl was, most likely innocent, that they could trust her, she wasn't going to run away, etc. And initially, the police have no idea who the girl is. It is absolutely possible she was involved in criminal activity. If the police assumed everybody was innocent little angels, they would get shot dead by suspects who appeared to be innocent a lot more often. If you were riding on a motorcycle with someone who committed a bank robbery or evaded police a few times, or a few minutes ago, you best believe the cops are going to handcuff you too until they figure out what's going on. They do it all the time as a necessary procedure. This is pretty easy to understand. This person was also responding to that person right here. And this person said, she could have easily been putting on an act, hoping to easily get off. They even took her cuffs off so she could calm down. You're just a viewer through a screen with an edited perspective that probably didn't watch the full video. See how that's an assumption of you? The police need to determine they need to get the facts. Yes, there are people all the time when dealing with the police, they will put on an act to try to get in the good graces of the police or try to fool them. Yes, this kind of stuff happens. And the person comes back again and responds to me and says, this wasn't a bank robbery or a stolen bike. It was speeding and evading. And we'll see my response to this. Both by the bike operator. No reason to suspect the passenger of anything or to see them as a threat. Okay, so they said there is no reason to suspect the passenger of anything or see them as a threat. And they did not back up that assertion. They did not provide any argument for that. They just simply threw that assertion out there and said, there's no reason for the police to suspect the passenger of doing anything. And then boom, they just left it at that. They didn't provide an argument. They just threw that out there. Again, they responded to this comment. Putting on an act to get off of what? It's not a crime to be a passenger in a vehicle that is committing traffic violation. Yes, I agree. It's not a crime to be in the passenger seat of a vehicle. Okay. There was zero wrongdoing by the passenger. I agree. The police figured that out. Nor any reason to view them as a threat to their safety. And I basically thanked this commenter saying and I said the police are paid to get lied to on a daily basis. Yet that commenter and everyone liking the comments still somehow don't understand this. I don't know what else to say. And I basically gave up with that person, but I continued to comment anyway. I said, LOL, I don't know what else to say. After that huge comment I wrote, there's no way I'm going to convince you of anything at this point. Here we have a new commenter coming in. They're responding to me. I'm genuinely curious how you think the passenger of a motorcycle has any control of what the driver is doing in a situation like this. I agree, the passenger doesn't have any control. So what? What could they even possibly charge her with? I mean, so far this is just a bunch of rhetorical questions. She was sitting on the back of the guy's bike, yes. While he drove recklessly and evaded the police, yes. That's 100% on the person operating the vehicle. Yes. You aren't going to convince anyone of anything because there's nothing to convince them of. And we're going to get some of my more of my responses down here. My responses get pretty lengthy and pretty big, so we're going to get there in a minute. This person comes back again and responds to me In certain situations, police should detain people for their safety. To prevent suspects from fleeing and to prevent general chaos. Yes. I just don't think this situation called for it. Okay. So they said in this particular video, they don't think the police should have handcuffed the girl. They think it was unreasonable, it was excessive, the police shouldn't have done it. Let's see if they back up that point. Which they don't. They say, I'm not saying they were intentionally trying to harass her. I just think they could have done a better job. It's all good though. We can agree to disagree. Oh, dang it. Looks like we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. If you can't tell, I really can't stand when people say that. People say, we can just agree to disagree. All right. So yeah, they in that comment, they said, I don't think this situation called for it. And they did not provide their argument for why what they think the police did was excessive. And I responded to this comment right here. And I said, did you see that lengthy comment I've made? I talked about that already. I'm not going to just keep writing out lengthy comments for you people. It won't convince you. Again, I already answered those questions. I'm done here. But I kept responding a little bit anyway. Now, here we go. The original commenter, they finally joined the discussion. And they said, Lex J 432 Hertz, so you're a paranoid law enforcement officer? They think I'm a cop. Of course you think it's not a Fourth Amendment violation to handcuff a passenger on a motorcycle because the driver fled from a traffic stop. And then I responded, a Fourth Amendment violation? Really? When someone commits multiple felonies, such as evading the police and driving 120 plus miles per hour, as in this video, the police don't need probable cause to search and seize under the Fourth Amendment. Good job on that one. Thank you for also duping the 104 people who liked your comment and contributing to the unjustified hatred of police. And I also added, paranoid is the wrong word to describe police, by the way. More like vigilant or cautious. Paranoid implies their fears are based in something non-existent. Yes, the definition of paranoia is it's when you're fearful or scared of something that doesn't actually exist. It's also been called irrational anxiety. You're anxious, you're fearful, you're scared, but there's no valid reason to be scared. But in this video, the police absolutely have legitimate reasons, valid reasons to be scared. Absolutely. They don't know what's going on. They have to control the situation. This person commented, you guys are ridiculous. They're basically like on my side here, I guess you could say. You can't just assume a passenger isn't carrying weapons or anything. Absolutely. This person told the original commenter, go take your meds. Another new commenter joins in to respond to me. Lex J 432 Hertz. It's not like riding in a vehicle where she can show her hands out the window. Yeah, sometimes I've seen videos where somebody's driving away from the police and the passengers are putting their hands out the window, I guess to imply that like, hey, I don't want to be a part of this, right? It still doesn't matter. The police are going to handcuff them anyway and figure out what's going on. You know what a motorcycle is, don't you? Yes, I do. Plus, she was more than willing to comply. Yes. She never ran from anybody. Yes. You're 100% incorrect. About what? What? What am I incorrect about? About what? What the fuck? Just because cops do it all the time, they're making a reference to a comment I made up here. Yeah, I said the cops, at the top there, they do it all the time as a necessary procedure. So I made the assertion that the police do what they do all the time. They handcuff the passengers. And I said this because it is a necessary procedure. Okay? Let's go back. Just because cops, quote, do it all the time is a low IQ point to make. I agree. If I was to just say, well, the cops do it all the time, so therefore it's okay. But that's not the point I was making. I understand that would be a fallacious argument. There are plenty of examples of what cops do all the time that either violate the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Like how, yes, I do agree that sometimes the cops do search people without probable cause. Sometimes they do that to people whom they know have lots of drugs in the car, and they're just like, man, I just want to get these fucking drugs off the street, and then the person will just get, well, I don't know about that, but yes, I agree. Cops sometimes do violate the Constitution. Yes. Like how they're trained to lie to people in traffic stops in order to incriminate them enough to warrant a search. Sorry, Lex, but you're wrong. Again, I don't know what I'm wrong about. And that whole argument of the police are trained to lie to people. Again, there's a very legitimate reason for that why the police are allowed to legally lie to people. It's totally legitimate for police to do that. I don't know if I talked about it in this comment thread, but we'll see. I responded to this person, said, I checked my comments and I didn't see a single part where I said, cops do it all the time. I know better than to say that because I know it would be a fallacious argument. Now, I agree with almost everything you said there, but you simply made a bunch of assertions without making a single point or argument that I can critique. So it's almost everything you said. I agree, but so what? For example, I agree with you that she was a passenger on a motorcycle and didn't run. So what? And I tried to help him out here by saying, this is the question you need to answer. What did the police do wrong or that was unreasonable? And explain why. I don't even know what you're saying I'm wrong about. I already wrote some lengthy comments explaining in detail why the cops handcuffed the female and did everything else they did and why it was all reasonable. I don't know what else I have to say. Make an argument that I have to critique. The original commenter comes back again. Responds to me. They totally had the driver dead to rights. How did they suspect the passenger of any crime? I mean, it's a moving violation. No, evading the police is a felony, not a moving violation. Yes? I mean, I guess you could consider it a moving violation, but evading the police, it's a felony we're talking about. Felonious acts. The word felony comes from the French word felon, which means dangerous man. I think that's what it means. A felonious person is a dangerous individual. That's what it means. And she wasn't driving. So it's not like they were running down bank robbers and they were running. It was a traffic violation. No, it wasn't. It was a felony. How is it all these armed police feel so unsafe all the time? I don't know. Maybe could you answer that? Are they going to answer that question? Let's see. Most people are just not interested in taking with them physically, so why do they treat everyone like a criminal until proven otherwise? That's the opposite of how it's supposed to work. I'm going to give my response to this, of course. I like to feel safe too, but I don't assume everyone is out to get me. Where do cops get that anyway? If anything, it seems more like we ought to be afraid of them because they have guns and handcuffs and jail cells and judges and prosecutors wrapped around their fingers, and they actually are out to get us with something they can fine or arrest us for. Oh my God, this guy is so fucking paranoid, dude. Trust me, I like when police investigate crimes and catch criminals, but I don't like them suspecting everyone and looking for ways to fine and arrest people who aren't going to get violent and aren't causing trouble. The job isn't supposed to be that easy. They're supposed to actually protect us from actual bad guys, not the bad guys that law-abiding citizens want to avoid. And I don't know if I end up responding to this particular point. What was the point that they made? I like to feel blah, blah, blah. How is it that armed police people treat everyone like that's the opposite? Okay, they said I like to feel safe too, but I don't assume everyone is out to get me. Where do cops get that anyway? Okay, well, there's a difference between you, a normal average citizen, versus a police officer. There's a completely different difference here. But anyway, here's my response. They said it's not like they were running down bank robbers. And I said, I already explained this, but I'll try again. First, this was not a moving violation. They fled and evaded from the police, which is a felony. Bank robbing is also a felony. It's the same type of crime. And they drove over 110 miles per hour, so this point of yours means nothing. How do they suspect the passenger of a crime? Yet again, already explained this. She was with a dude who had just committed multiple felonies. It is 100% reasonable for the police to initially assume any passengers may be dangerous as well, at least until they take a few minutes to interview everyone. Why do police treat everyone like a criminal? That's the opposite of how it's supposed to work. And I said, no, the courtroom is where you are presumed innocent until proven guilty, not on the side of the road with the police. They said, how is it that police feel so unsafe all the time? And I said, gee, I don't know. Like, again, there's like a overwhelmingly innumerable amount of reasons for that. And I said, it's because police are the ones who hold criminals accountable. They're the ones who hold people accountable in society. And a lot of people don't like to be held accountable. Again, I already explained that police never know who they're dealing with. There are an innumerable amount of cases where somebody appeared non-threatening and then boom, they pull out a gun and the battle is on. I can clearly tell you haven't seen many police videos nor know what they actually go through. They said, trust me, I like when police investigate crimes. And I said, that's exactly what they did in this video. The police did nothing excessive at all. They did a perfectly fine job and acted completely reasonable, considering multiple felonies had just been committed in their presence. And I ended off my comment with, you still have not proven or explained what you think the police did wrong here. All you did was provide your feelings, rhetorical questions, and arbitrary, unknowledgeable opinions. That doesn't work. I'm still waiting for anybody to explain what the police did wrong in this video and give their explanation, argument, proof, and evidence. Please do not respond to me again unless you're going to give a solid argument instead of just opinions. They respond again. I definitely think you must be a cop. I don't know. You're so paranoid. I'm the paranoid one. Okay. And think every case is the worst case scenario. Yeah, it's totally reasonable for the police to pretend like every case is the fucking worst case scenario. If somebody is running and evading from the police, it's a good idea to assume they might be armed and dangerous. Why not? I don't see how that's a bad thing. So who cares about the Bill of Rights? It's all about officer safety, not taking care of the public. The driver was the only one they witnessed committing any crime. They can investigate the girl without handcuffs, especially with this many cops at the scene. They're so worried about their safety when they all carry firearms. Their job can put them in harm's way, but it's still nowhere near as dangerous as they think. They're not even in the top 10. Twice as many farmers died on the job at twice the rate. 9 times as many delivery drivers died at twice the rate. Garbage collectors, construction workers, especially roofers, oil workers, electric linemen, mechanics, and pilots all die at higher rates on the job than police. Delivery drivers face more danger than police from the public, but we don't see videos of them taking their fears out on the public. And here's my response to that. Well, not just yet. I end up coming back and responding anyway. I could yet again deconstruct everything you just said, including the top 10 dangerous job statistic, because it doesn't actually prove anything about police not being a dangerous job, but I don't feel like it. The fact that you think a delivery driver faces more danger than a cop is monumentally absurd. I also used to believe the same things. See here, I'm acknowledging that I used to believe all this stuff that he's saying too, right? I was also in his position, which makes my message more profound because I used to be like that. Just like if you're listening to a ex-drug addict tell you, hey, don't get addicted to drugs, and maybe he shows pictures of what he used to look like and he's all messed up in there. It's like, hey, you don't want to go down that route. I went there, don't do it, right? It makes the message a bit more profound. I told him you are beyond stuck in your beliefs. So believe what you want. I'm done. I'm not a cop, by the way. Now, I said I'm done, but I came back a couple more times to comment because I just had to. They said, dude, when 900 delivery drivers die on the job and only 100 cops, I guess they're saying like every year 900 delivery drivers die, only 100 cops die. It tells me why police in Chicago won't even escort UPS drivers in the worst neighborhoods. You gotta be kidding me if you think cops face more danger than a delivery driver when police are armed. Oh, I guess this is the last comment right here. And I responded. You used an anecdotal example, Chicago, to prove your point. Chicago, yes, there is, Chicago is inside of Cook County, Illinois, right? It's on the northeast side of Chicago. That's where Cook County is. Chicago is inside of Cook County, right? And yes, there is a lot of crime in Cook County, Illinois, a lot of murders and things like that, but that doesn't mean the whole entire United States is like that. That's why I'm pointing out, he's using an anecdote. This doesn't prove anything. And the number one cause of police on the job deaths is getting shot dead by criminals. And yes, I have looked at, that's something that you can look up. It's not that hard to find. I actually checked the statistics before making this comment. The number one cause of police on-the-job deaths is getting shot dead by criminals. And just to add to that, police also get run over by felonious criminals, like criminals attempt to run them over with their cars, right? And I said, this is really important, those are purposeful and intentional deaths, intentional killings. Whereas construction workers and delivery drivers, mostly their deaths are accidental. You know, falling, getting hit by equipment, or, you know, these, it's mostly accidental deaths. Nobody, like loggers and construction, don't purposely like walk into a wood chipper or something like that. Oh man. I said it's apples to oranges or a false equivalence, if you know what that is. The dangers are not even comparable to police. So the whole argument is invalid on its face. Yes, if you're going to try to say that police is a dangerous job, there are a lot of factors that you have to take into account. I'll give you an example of why you have to take a lot of factors into account. The FBI has their list of the top 10 most dangerous counties in America. Now, the average person would probably think, well, the most dangerous county is going to be the one that has the most murders, right? Well, you would actually be wrong, because again, there are more factors you have to take into account. How many murders are there? How many rapes are there? How many assaults are there? How many aggravated assaults? How many batteries? How many carjackings? There's so many things you got to take into account, not just murders, right? So the FBI, St. Louis, Missouri, has the highest murder rate in the whole country. But guess what? The FBI does not classify St. Louis as the number one most dangerous country. The FBI classifies Memphis, Tennessee as the most dangerous county. Memphis, Tennessee doesn't have the highest murder rate, right? But yet, it's more dangerous to be in Memphis, Tennessee than St. Louis. They said the police are armed, so therefore they aren't in danger. Another worthless argument from you. Is there anything you say that makes sense other than your feelings and baseless opinions? You people need to stop. And here's where I kind of went off a little bit. You people need to stop watching these anti-cop social media personalities who do nothing but what you do, which is provide worthless arguments. Again, as I also used to do. It boils down to one thing. You dislike it and get butthurt when rules are being enforced, which is totally legitimate. But you people, for whatever silly reason, don't see it that way. Guys, do the police sometimes do bad things? Yes, I'm not going to deny that. Of course, yes, sometimes they do bad stuff. It's just like with anything in this torturous nightmare realm that we live in. Everything. Some people are going to use it for good. Some people are going to use it for bad things. You know, you give somebody a gun, some people are going to use it for good things. Some people are going to use it for bad things. It's just how it is. So if you become a police officer, the question should be, are you going to try to commit the least amount of evil that you can, right? Because everything we ultimately do is just a different form of evil. It's just a matter of how little amount of evil are you going to try to commit. And the last thing I said down there, we are so far off from the main point about the video here. Still waiting. This is like the third time I've said this. Still waiting for somebody to prove why what the police did in this video was excessive and unreasonable. So yeah, that's the end of that comment thread. There were a couple of other threads that I responded to. But yeah, like, there were a bunch of people in this comment thread that were like condemning the police and saying like, oh, why do they have to handcuff that girl and go after her? You know, what? That's just silly and they don't need to do that. And honestly, yeah, we'll just read this one last comment because I don't want this video to be too long. Honestly, there is something a bit unsettling about how the police are fist bumping and giving each other repetitive kudos for detaining the speeder, but in the same breath not at all helping to ease this lady's nerves. Well, it's not the police's job to calm people down. They can do that if they want to, but it's not their job. They don't have to calm you down. The police's job is to enforce the rules that society has quote unquote agreed to, right? That's the police's job, to enforce the rules. It's not their job to calm you down. It's not their job to make your day and make you happy and laugh and tickle you and be all cuddly and like, ooh, let's snuggle. Like, it's not their job to do that. They can if they want to, but they don't have to, right? Just like if you work at like I'm trying to think of an example. It's just like if you work at Starbucks, your job is to make coffee and give and make orders for people who come to Starbucks and order items that are on the menu at Starbucks. If somebody comes in and says, hey, I'd like 2 hammers and a 30-foot 2x4. Well, it's not your job to make that stuff. Home Depot will make that stuff, but not Starbucks employees. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that she wasn't the aggressor in this situation. Yes, and again, after 3.5 minutes, they unhandcuffed the girl when they realized, hey, I think this girl's innocent. Let's just, you know. And again, some people were saying they were condemning the police for putting the girl in the back of the police car. Again, why do you think they did that? Do these people ever ask themselves, why did the police do that? The reason they put the girl in the back of the police car is because that's where it's safe. It's for her safety, for safety reasons. You never know what could happen. Somebody could be trying to get that motorcycle guy and a drive-by shooting could occur, and it's just, you never know what could happen, right? So they put the girl in the back of the police car for safety reasons, to put her in a safe place so that she's not out on the street, right? I mean, there are plenty of different reasons that you could say. And a little kindness would have gone a long way. Yes. It's already scaring enough to be forced into a deadly situation. It does not help to be treated like a criminal afterwards. They didn't treat her like a criminal. They treated her like a criminal for like a minute. And then once they assessed the situation, realized, okay, I don't think this girl is innocent. Let's unhandcuff her. They unhandcuffed her. They immediately treat the kidnapping victim as if she's guilty. Oh my God. But anyway, y'all, just, I don't know. Thought I'd do that for a video. Show that comment thread that I have. If anybody's interested in seeing that. It's a nice little discussion. But yeah, feel free to leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys later.